In this 4-part series, we've taken you deep into the jungle to spend 5 days living with the Mentawai tribe. In this final episode, we're sitting down to recap our experience, speak about what we learned, and give our honest opinion about visiting the tribe.
Holy crap, there was a lot of people there.
Who else is going to be living like this, in the years to come? All right, so what's it been, a week since we came out? Almost a week.
Almost.
We're now on...
Today's Monday.
Yeah, we left on Tuesday.
We got out on Tuesday.
And we're on Sephora Island, the island to the south.
Yeah, up here in Tuapeja.
Yeah. I guess I've never asked you, like, what do you think about the whole thing for you? Yeah.
Yeah, overall, I mean, I'm glad we did it. It was a nice experience. Like, my initial thoughts, like, if I had to sum it up just very quickly, it was like, I think it's nice. I'm glad we did it. It's cool. But I think, like, spending as much time that we spent in Indonesia, it didn't blow my mind in the same way that maybe I had these expectations.
Yeah.
Like, it was good. It was definitely good. But I think it's kind of built up to this level of what it's supposed to be. It's like, oh, the Mentawai tribes, and everybody talks about it, and everyone thinks it's going to be this mind-blowing experience. I mean, for me, I was even thinking, right, like, maybe I'm going to get my first tattoo here. You know, something like that. But it didn't reach that level for me. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yourself?
I enjoyed it too. And I think, like, it was like kind of, for me, it's like 2 parts, right? And we haven't edited it yet, but I think we're going to, like, the first video is like the first 2 days where it's just us and them.
Yeah.
It's like a more intimate thing. And the second 2 days was obviously when Maria and Ogi and Patricia joined us, and it was a lot different. But in a way, like, I think I'm glad we got to see both sides. Like, I'm glad we had the intimate time with the family, with Laja and everybody. But then, even though it wasn't as intimate when everyone else joined, it's like, this is the reality of it. I'm glad we got to see that. And I'm glad it's, like, on video, so, we understand the reality of what's, happening here. But for me, I think it's a special place. I think it's unique because we've been in Indo for so long, and we spent a lot of time in, like, villages. There's a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think we talked about it before, and with Margarita, like, it does feel like you're not. Sometimes like you don't feel like you're in Indo, you know what I mean? Or you feel like you're in Indo, like in a like you went back in time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's, like, obviously, like, there's so many similarities to normal village life. But sometimes I'm like, it doesn't feel like, it feels like I went through, like, a time machine, and it's like, this is Indo before, right? Like, before outside influence, before modern amenities.
Yeah, that's how, like, most of Indonesia was.
Yeah. We're going to call this, like, or if we call it, the truth about the tribes, like, the biggest thing for me, and, like, I think how we also went into this as we got closer to here was, like, one, a lot of tourists are going there, which we didn't know, you know what I mean? And
we didn't really have that.
No.
We didn't understand to that volume.
Yeah, like, this is actually, like, not a touristic place, but people are going.
It's kind of pretty touristic.
And the second thing was that, like, the wide majority of Mentawai people don't live in this traditional way.
Not a full on, not 100%.
Yeah. And we didn't, like, figure that out. Like, we learned all this stuff as we got towards Padang, and then we learned it, like, when we got here.
Then when I was in Sibrut for a few days,
like,
talking, and then because I was at Leaky's house, and we were just sitting there hanging out when I first met him, and there's people coming in and out, and tourists and things like that, and I was like, what's going on here? I was confused, like, oh, these are visitors. A lot of people come stop by my house, people. And then I met a group of Germans here, and I saw all of them were doing it. They're like, we stopped by. We met Leaky as well. Everyone, like, stops by his house. Like, that's kind of like the gateway. Everyone, like, preps there. And I was really taken aback. Like, whoa, everyone's doing this.
We had no idea. Because the first time was when we were in Monday. We were in Ricky's beach house, and then there's all these backpackers there, and they're like, oh yeah, we all went to the tribes. We're like, what? And then they're like, yeah, I was in a group of 6. I was in a group of whatever. And we were like, oh man, like, all these people are doing this. So I didn't realize it was that popular.
And then when I was trying to book it, trying to, like, get us a slot, they're like, well, I'm booked on these days and these days. And I was kind of, like, in brief contact with other people. Like, well, these are the dates I have available. And it's like, holy crap, people have, like, full schedules booked up. Like, I'm taking 4 people this day. The next week I have 6. Do you want to join people? Do you want to go private? So it's something I never expected.
What do you think? Like, what do you think about that aspect of it?
it's a double-edged sword, right? There could be a lot of good that comes from it. You know, it's like, this is our culture. We want to showcase our culture. Because that's what the big thing Lodge was talking about when I was asking him, like, what do you think about the tourists? Like, you guys are so off and on. Like, there's tourists going and they go home, and then it's this cycle, and you pretty much always have guests. Like, you don't really have that many days of a break. Like, are you finally relieved when the tourists leave and it's like, we can just live our lives? But he said he enjoys, like, when tourists are there. You know, and he seemed genuine about it. It didn't seem like he was saying that for us or the camera or anything. No. Like, he said he really enjoyed sharing the culture, and he kept talking about these interviews, and if you want to see the best, like, he really knew, like, the best interviews to watch, because I think he really appreciated people with a genuine interest to see their culture. And then I think, like, also, you know, that's cool if you have those kind of tourists. And then also, like, there's a lot of money going around, obviously. And I think tourism can be good in to a certain extent, right? Yeah. To a certain extent. Like, I think if the money's going to the right places, because obviously these trips are expensive, and that can fuel them, maybe take some burden off of them, because, I mean, like we saw, there's a lot of people getting old. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of assistance. They don't have to be going 100%. Like, they're not 100%, you know, just in the jungle. There's a little bit of outside support. But on the flip side, I don't think it's gotten to that point yet, but it's kind of on the way. Of just, you don't want it to be this insane touristic thing. You know, I think it would detract from the experience if, I mean, I thought at some places the logs could have been better that we were walking on. Like, I feel like, well, there's so many people coming here, like, you can still walk on logs, that's cool, but, like, maybe a big one cut in half, like, nice to stand on. But you don't want it so mass tourism to this point of it's all paved and, you know, things like that. And at a certain point we need to get cell service out here, and we need to build, like, a toilet out here. We need to, it's all these little things that are going to take away from what it really is. I don't know if it'll ever get to that point, but it's definitely not, like, an extremely far-fetched idea. That with a mass influx of tourism, something like that could happen. No, that's how I feel. I feel like at the level now it's okay. I think we even said that when we spoke to Lodge, like, right now it's okay. And we even said, like, we hope it doesn't, you know, get too much. Like, someplace like Bali, dude, like, it's mass tourism has greatly affected Bali, and this is not a place where you want that. And you know, we said that, and he said to us, like, no, it's, you know, it's not going to become like that. I don't think it'll become Bali. I mean, obviously we need to see, but I've heard, like, Bukit Lawang, we obviously haven't been there, but I've heard that's a little bit over the top at this point already. Like, it's kind of been commercialized to a point that detracts from the experience. So I think that's, like, the closest parallel to what it could get to. Obviously, I mean, we haven't seen Bukit Lawang for the situation. Hopefully it doesn't. Now I think it's okay. I mean, I wonder how many people are, like, how many people do you think are I mean, there's probably there's tens of people going in. Well, at least to the area we know. That's the other thing. We haven't been to every area, but there's like, what, 50 to 100 people going in, you think? I don't know. In what time frame? Like, every Tuesday, the ferry comes in. Oh, like, maybe. Yeah. It's not like thousands of people, but, like, you know. I think 50, maybe max 100, maybe? I don't know. I think that we caught, like, a slow swing. Because we came in, and then a couple people joined us, and then, because typically when big groups, I think they're at Cookie's house. I don't think so many people stay at Toykat's house. Maybe a few. I think the Germans did, but I don't think that. I think normally there's more people in that area, the area that we were at. And then we got to a point there was only 6 of us basically with that entire Sicalio. Suco. Suku. I would say maybe 50 to 100. And it's spread out. There's people there. There's people in, like, Putui. So. So I think, like, for me, I think now it's okay level. But I think it was a surprise for us. Like, we didn't know it was like this. You know what I mean? And you don't really see that anywhere online and videos or whatever. So for me, I think that was, like, kind of a surprise, and it's okay. Like, this is the whole thing with tourism. Like, we can't fault them for bringing tourists in, and, like, we're going in there, like, we're tourists. I'm not gonna fault them. I understand, like, and they need to do what they need to do, but I hope they don't let it get to a point where it's, like, too much. And I guess the other way, like, the other angle I look at it with tourists is, like, what do you think about, you know, because we got to do it just us with them first, and there wasn't a schedule of things to do. You know what I mean? It was like, all right, what are you doing today? Like, I need to get this log for my house, or, you know. That was really cool. Like, I need to feed the chickens, and, you know, but then when the tourists are there, you're doing this thing
like this schedule, right? And everyone's doing the same.
And now that we've seen, yeah.
And now, and on the video, everyone else's videos, like everyone's doing the same thing. Like, what do you think about that?
I mean, in some ways, they've narrowed down, right? Like, because there are tourists coming in, they've kind of narrowed down, like, this is what people want to see. People want to see the loincloth.
Yeah.
That makes them feel like a part of the experience and gives them like an insight.
Yeah.
I think the poison is super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, eating the worm. So I think they've definitely selected these things. You know, I think there's a lot more that goes into their culture that isn't broadcast or experienced by most of the tourists. But I think that they've handpicked these things because they are maybe the most interesting things for tourists. It's like, I think all of those are cool. Like, I'm glad we did the loincloth. Mm-hmm. I'm glad we did the fishing, grubs, the poison. Like, I'm happy we did all that. But I'm really glad that we did a lot of stuff outside of that as well.
Yeah.
People have these time frames, and like, how long do people want to stay out in the jungle? We talked to Laja, and he said the longest someone's really been here, like in like a tour group or whatever, is a week tops. You know, like that's the most anyone's ever done. So I mean, if you're staying a week, you can obviously see a lot more. But I think more often you're getting like 2 or 3 nights. That's probably your most common trip. And they're probably like, this is what we can fit in. That is going to be, you know, the most dense that we can pack into in this time frame.
And you can't, like, I wish we could have gotten more deeper in the culture, but like, you can't in a few days, dude. Like, it's you know, we would need to spend a few months in there, you know, to really understand and learn things, and also like to see other types of traditions and see other types of ceremonies that don't happen frequently, right? Mm-hmm. But like, that's just like not gonna happen if you're just there for a few days. So yeah, for me, like, I get like why they do that. Like, you know, everyone goes in and does the same things, you know, and they are cool. But I like the big first 2 days more. Just I don't know, because it's like, it's just not that it's more, not those things they're doing aren't real. Like, they're real things, but like nothing's more real than just being with them. Like, for me, like, being with them those first 2 days was already special enough. Just being in this environment, like seeing how they live, seeing how Lodge's busy doing all this work. His wife is busy taking care of the daughter, cooking, feeding the chickens. Like, just seeing like, and maybe not being like so deep into the culture, but just seeing like this lifestyle, dude, like that for me was pretty special. I don't know. And I don't think it's something that many people see.
For me, one of the coolest things, I mean, when we were taking that log, we had no idea what it was for. Like, why are we carrying this 150 kilo log through the jungle right now? Mm-hmm. But then after seeing him cut it and carve it and create the steps, and then seeing the other houses that they all have that log, I was like, holy shit, this is really cool. Like, we were a part of this house. Like, this is going to be here for a long time. Like, we were part of that, and we saw it. And then every single time we'd come back and we'd walk up those steps. I was like, this is sick.
This is it, dude.
Like, we helped with this, you know?
And it's like a real functional thing. Like,
real functional, like, important part of the house. He said, you can't have an Uma without this, you know?
For sure, No, it was, I guess the other thing for me is that I think just like by the nature of how you and I travel, I'm kind of turned off by like an agenda. You know what I mean? That's like and that's just me personally, or maybe you too. It's just like me and you, like we get on our bikes, dude, and we just go wherever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There's no agenda. There's no schedule.
We have like rough things we want to see.
But it's not like, all right, we have a guide. It's like, at this time we're going to go do this. And at this time we're going to go do this. So despite the nature of like what we were doing with them, it's just a turn off for me, because that's not how we travel. You know, the first 2 days is like how we do things.
Exactly.
You know?
But people do like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like, if you're bringing tourists in, I totally I get it why it needs to be like this. You know, and I think like Maria and Ogie and Patricia and anyone else goes, like they do enjoy that, like a bit of like
definitely
like a.
I mean, Ogie had an itinerary for their travels. They already have like places booked, flights ready to go. You know, they're very much the type of person that wants to see, okay, day 1 we're going to be doing this. Day 2 it's this. You know, and I still think like they kind of did a good job. Like, at some points I felt like maybe they were a little bit too lax. Like, we'd go do something during the day, and then everyone would come home and like lounge for a while. Which, I mean, we were all pretty beat, so it wasn't the worst thing. Mm-hmm. But I felt like there was a lot of downtime that could otherwise be filled. So I think like, the schedule was a little bit light. And then like, speaking on like the tourism, and you know, we had no idea to the level it was at. As always, like, hindsight's 2020, and looking back, it's like, we should have known. We should have known. You know, like otherwise, how is it so accessible? But I think that, you know, the way that people create content about it, they kind of just keep this mysterious sort of.
They hide that. Yeah.
Like they don't really make that.
Maybe not intentionally hiding. Well, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
But I think it's just like the over glamorization of it.
Yeah.
Like you see it, and you see like all these slow-mo shots and like the light hitting and these guys smoking in the jungle. And
yeah.
I think you just have this idea of what it is, and you already build this idea. But then, you know, if we really like reached out and typed in like Mentawai Tribe Tour on Google, we would have got hit with all the results, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Like all these websites in English, like I'm sure the majority of them are all in English. You know? And like, oh, okay. And I think I forget the number, but they said there's X amount of guides there. There's quite a few, several dozen, up to like 50 or something. I don't know. Yeah. So like in hindsight, we should have realized. Yeah. But I think that we already had, you know, this mindset of what it was.
Yeah. No, for sure. I guess we could talk, like that's one of the things I want to talk about is just like the other content, and I don't want to bash other YouTubers, but obviously like there's been a lot of videos made there, especially ones that have gone like super viral. And I just think that you know, I think they missed the mark on like what's happening and what's going on and like the reality of things. And it's not I don't want to blame them or fault them, because like I think they're just naive, and like, man, if you look at some of our old videos, like we're naive too, so like we're totally can fall into that. But I just felt like the way we went in was like we went in like looking for the real shit, you know what I mean? Like that's how we kind of went in. Like we saw a few videos, we were a little bit unsure. As we got closer, we were like, what's really going on here, dude? And then I have watched more other people's videos like after, and then I'm like, dude, these people like completely glorified and romanticized this entire thing, and they missed like a lot of stuff. Like
so rough.
Yeah, they missed so many. They missed a lot. They missed the whole tourist aspect. They missed some of the realities of living in the jungle. They really didn't talk about the people. You know what I mean? Like they just focused on their experience, which is fine. But I don't know. I felt like, and in the past, if we've done this, probably like we've definitely have messed things up. But I feel like the reason why, I don't know, we went into this like, all right, you know, everyone has made the same videos here, everyone's done the same things and like covered all the same topics or whatever, but there's got to be more to this. Like we kind of went in like searching for the story. We kind of went in like, all right, why are there so many tourists here? Like, how does this work? Or why are there so many? You guys good? Or why do not everyone live in this way? Which we can talk about later. Like, you know, not all the people live like this. So yeah, I just think a lot of these videos, like, it's no fault to those people, but like, for me, I rewatched some of them afterwards, and I was like, this is bullshit. It's cool, like, and it's good at what it does. Like I've said, there's two ways to make a travel video. Like, generally, from vaguely, like you can focus on the experience of the traveler, or you can focus on the place you're in. The place to include the people, to include the culture, to include the food. I think we try to be pretty balanced, right? Like we focus on like our trip and what's going on, but we also try to like tell stories and let the people tell their story. And if you look at these other videos, like they're beautiful in the way they tell the experience of themselves, like, and they're amazing, but they totally miss like the Mentawai people. Like they don't. It's so surface level, dude, into what the people, you know what I mean? Like,
but and I think at the root of it, like a lot of people, not saying that they're bad people, but in a way, like that's not what their content is. They don't care. It's like they're kind of just glancing over it. You know, they're like, I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna fly to here, and I'm gonna go to Thailand, and like all that, whatever. So I think like that's their content, and I think people are trapped in this bubble. Like I've met people and they're doing like relationship couple content. And I've talked to the guys. They're like, I want to break out. You know, I want to get out of this so bad, but they're stuck in that lane now. And now all they can make is this glamorous, like, overly glamorized content, and that's kind of like what they're stuck in a lot of ways. I mean, there's definitely vloggers that go there as well. I don't know. I haven't seen like a ton of videos, but like what I've seen little bits and pieces, and I just think that it is overly glamorized. Yeah. And I mean, I think we did a good job, but I also think that there's even, in our experience, there's like, right, that's kind of like why we're having this dialogue now. Is because there's not really a time to insert these comments and concerns and questions like as we're going and with the people. You know what I mean? So I think that even with our own content, there could be a little bit more transparency. You could say.
No, for sure. No, I mean, I think we did as best we can. I think we haven't gone back and looked at everything yet. I think we could have done better, like always. maybe, you know, we go back another time and do more. But yeah, I think like it felt like the feel we had, and we even like talked about it, like the feel we had going in was like we're really searching for something more, and like that's why we asked Logic, like, are you willing to like sit and talk with us for like an hour on camera and us ask you like some real questions, you know what I mean? Nothing too crazy, but like we were always like searching for more, and I think hopefully we can, I don't know, hopefully people, I think obviously like most of our audience is Indonesian, I think they'll appreciate it. And if Westerners do watch and are going, like they'll have hopefully can have like a better understanding after watching the videos.
Yeah, I'm curious what the Western opinion of our video is, because I feel like Westerners, especially people that are seeking that experience, are more drawn to that crazy cinematic, you know, like, whoa, because then they want to take the selfies and the photos and like all these beautiful pictures with their amazing cameras, and like that's the experience they're looking for.
I think if it's the Westerner who's like wants to travel there and they're using YouTube as like like as a information, like, oh, I want to go here, I want to watch a video and figure out how to get there, then I think that's how they would feel. But I think a Westerner who maybe just consumes travel content just for enjoyment, maybe they would appreciate it more. But it also like came full circle for me, like this whole thing, because like, I don't know, the way I used to look at Instagram, like all like the people that do crazy edited photos, like drone shots of the most insane things. And I used to love that, dude. Like the pictures of drone shots in Thailand of like the rocks and like in the Alps and all this stuff. And then as I started traveling and then I went to some of these places, I was like, this isn't real, dude. Like this is so over edited. So then my whole like relationship with Instagram changed. Like I was like, it's artistic and creative, but it's not real. This is fake.
It's talented.
Yeah. But I never thought about that with videos. Like, and then all of a sudden, like, we started making content, and I started trying to get into the scene of, like, who makes travel content. And then I saw, like, the classic people that do very experienced, super edited, cinematic, cool things, and that's what I used to like. And then I used to watch videos, like, of the classic guys with the GoPro that go somewhere for 30 minutes, and, like, there's nothing, and they just walk around. And I was like, why do people like this? I was like, like, this is so boring. Like, this is and these people have, like, millions of subscribers. And then like it's slowly clicked for me, and especially like here, like I get it, because it's not real. Like this other stuff is it's not real. Like it's amazing and it's creative, but it's not as real as like just having a camera and being somewhere and like documenting it. And like, I mean, hopefully we can, when we edit it, like I think it'll be more like that. Obviously, it's gonna be more like that.
I don't think we filmed like any slow-mo.
No,
I don't think we filmed any of slow-mo.
But yeah, it was like a full circle moment for me. I was like, I get it now. Like because a lot of these people are so popular that make just raw travel videos. I was like, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
It's like, now I get it. It's
people want to see the real thing.
Yeah.
And I even think with our content, when we started off, it was like, okay, like we're going to learn how to make videos, and we were learning how to like do these cinematic shots, and this is a slow-mo, and like the focus and all these things, and we need to focus on transitions and things like that. But I think, I mean, obviously there's still a time and a place where we do it sometimes, but we don't nearly take as much time and energy on that. It's more about like what the experience is.
For sure, dude.
Like with the time that we have, and you know, there's a limited amount of time that we have in the jungle. Do we want to spend that with, okay, do that again, and then trying to get like the perfect focus and shot and you know, composition of the film. But
for sure. And if you bring it back to this, like that's why I think our first 2 days is going to be special, because we're not going to do anything crazy, right? It's just capturing our experience there, and there is no agenda. It's just like us with them. And I think that in itself is like, for a lot of people, is good content, dude. And it's special and it's unique and it's not bells and whistles, and I think people will appreciate seeing that. Yeah. That's what I think.
I'm curious. I think, but I mean, I also think that the last 2 days, like, I think it's nice.
It's good too. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. No, yeah. I think, but yeah, because like once more people there, it's more fun and it's more exciting. So that's why I was like, I think it's good we have both.
Yeah, and I think there's good stuff in the second one as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you feel like you're biased to it at all, because like you were?
I was gone for most of the second. I think, no, I just not like I obviously like enjoyed everyone we were with, but it's like, I think it's just a different, like when we're in there and we're speaking Indonesian the whole time and it's just us and them, like that to me.
Well, you have to think also, like I mean, everyone you're with, I think they also understood that our experiences were different than their experiences.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like just being able to connect and speak a common language, you know, obviously a lot of the guys there, their English is still developing.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that it puts a barrier on you. Like us not only knowing the language, but knowing the culture.
Yeah.
You know? And just being familiar. and it's like we can buddy up with them, do this, hang out, and just like we're hanging like we're one of their boys.
Yeah.
Whether we're just kicking it, drinking a coffee, or playing chess with them, or like, I mean, they're obviously going to be more willing, like, hey, you come with me, like, we want to show you this, if it, something more intimate.
Yeah.
Versus like bringing the whole group of people. Like, so I think because we've been here so long, understand the culture and speak the language, like our experience is going to be different than
100%
than everyone else's.
100%, yeah.
Or like 95+% of other tourists.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, going off that, what would you recommend people to go? Like, how would you recommend people to go? Because like we talked about this a little bit before.
What do you mean?
Like for me, I would recommend people to go, but I think that ideally, I think you do a couple other trips to Indo first, and then you go.
Oh yeah.
I think there's an argument for both, like, because like for them that's crazy. Like all of them, Maria, Ogi, and Patricia, like this was the first time they've been to Indo and the first thing they did.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think there's an argument for that. Like maybe throw yourself in the fire. If you recommend someone do it, like if you've never been to Indo, just go. But I lean on the side of, I think if you had gone to Indo a couple times and maybe get an understanding and then go, it would be better. Or if you can't do that, if you're going to do like a 3-week trip to Indo, maybe do it at the end, just so you could like learn a little bit. Because for me, if you can just learn a little bit of basic things about Indonesia, then you would understand why this place is special.
Yeah.
In a way, right? Because those people come straight there and they're like, this is Indonesia, bro.
Exactly.
And then they go out, it's like, no, it's not. Like this place is actually unique and special.
It's so different. Yeah.
And if you like understand a little bit more about Indonesia, you're not gonna like, if you're not been here for 3 years like us and like can speak, you're not gonna be like that into it. But I think you would just be able to like soak more in.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think coming fresh off the boat directly there, when people start their trip, I mean, when people travel, right? Like Western people travel, they have a couple of weeks off work for the year.
Yeah.
People are really into showing off their travels. It's like, okay, I just landed. I need to show this. I need to get the selfie. I need to get the cinematic shot. I need the shot with like a picture of me and the shaman. So I think people are really into that. And I think kind of whether it's at the beginning or end, but I definitely see the merit to that being maybe at the end of your trip. Like you're saying, you can kind of just get a better understanding because, when we were there with the 3 of them, they're like, this is Indonesia. Like that was their first experience in Indonesia, and that's kind of what their assumption is. But I also thought maybe it was also nice that they throw themselves into the fire early on.
Yeah, that's the
then everything else is kind of like ease off of that. Like maybe, travel's not always the easiest. You're going hard for 3 weeks, especially people, they only have 3 weeks. It's boom, 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 boom. Like their days are pretty filled up. It's like they have one rest day, travel, and they keep moving.
So
I think there's also the argument that if you like finish off with that, you're just going to be completely beat by the end of it.
Yeah. And then I guess like the last truth, which is like kind of heavy, and obviously like we talked to many people, we talked to Laja on camera and like people off, is like, the reality that the majority of people don't live in this traditional way, and it's unclear of like what's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like in general, it's, and we learned this too, is like a lot of people are moving out of the jungle into the normal village. And this is like, I thought this was like such a huge takeaway from us, and like we talked about it in the conversation with Lajit, is like the way the people in the jungle talk about the way the people are in the village it's so crazy, bro. Because like and I've talked to like some friends about this, it's like, or it's like when you're in Indonesia and you're like in a city, whether it's Jakarta or like a small size city,
everyone's talking
like,
about
man,
the
the kampung, dude. The life in the village, like life in the countryside, like that's a tough life, man. And
like kampung living is like so nice. It's a simple life.
Yeah,
right?
Simple life. Yeah. It's like it's the simple life. It's a more rough life. It's like this out of
It's this easy, happy kind of distant
life.
Yeah.
But now it's like it switches. It's like now the kampung is like the kota of the city, and like the jungle is like the kampung.
Yeah.
And like the way they talk, even like Laja talks about the kampung, is like it's this fancy place.
Yeah.
And like in a way,
comparatively,
it is. Like, I was excited to, like when we finished the jungle and you go to the kampung and like to take a bucket shower with running water and power, like it is. But for me, it was like, it was just this crazy mind freak thing of like, they were there like, yeah, he left the jungle, he went to the village.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he left the Hutan, he went to the kampung. Like, holy shit.
But it's like the different levels, right? Like if people go to the kampung, a lot of people live in the kampung, and it's like, okay, I went to the kota, I went to the city for opportunity for work.
Yeah.
And there it's, you're in the jungle. I went to the kampung for opportunity for work, for school, for my kids, things like that. And it's just
wild.
It's completely different comparison.
Yeah.
But it is just...
It's crazy. But yeah, like a lot of people, yes, I mean...
And you can't fault anyone.
No, that's the thing. It's like you can't... Yeah, like a lot of people are moving out of the jungle to go to the kampung. Like, because they maybe want an easier life. Like...
Yeah.
And you can't fault them. Or like Lajit said, like, the kids, if they want to send their kids to school, then the school's in the normal village. And they have to do that. And his family, like, they all moved out. Or his older brothers have kids. His older brother has kids and moved to the normal village so they can go to school and he could be there. But Lajit said, like, I'll send, my daughter to school and I'll stay in here. But, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. And, like, he expressed concern that, like, he left, obviously. Like, he went to Padang, he went to Bali. He lived this normal life. Like, he didn't just go to the kampung. Like, he went to Bali, dude. Like,
I think
resorts.
He was working at the resorts here or something. Yeah. I think he spent time there.
Yeah, and he was out for a while, and then he went back, and then he said, I'm trying to revive my...
I'm scared.
Yeah, culture. And then he said when his daughter, like, I want my daughter to go to school, but, like, she's going to come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is, like, obviously we haven't been everywhere. We don't know, like, the whole details of everything, but it does seem like, and people are a little bit nervous about who else is going to be living like this,
exactly.
in the years to come.
In the next coming decades.
Yeah, and this is something that people, again, miss. Like, you wouldn't know that if you watch other people's videos. You wouldn't know, like, dude, this might not be a thing a long time. Like, there's all these other people that live the thing we don't want to take away, like, they're Mentawai people, and they still do Mentawai traditions, and they still get tattoos, and they still wear traditional garb, and they still do some of the common things. But in terms of this, like, the tribal way, that's, I don't know, if it could be at risk. Like, I don't know.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, at least that we saw, I think potentially, right, we can only speak on the one era we were in.
Yeah.
I've seen maybe Batui has more people, and maybe that has, like, a better chance of continuing and, going down the line. But, as far as we were, like, there weren't that many women. There weren't that many children.
Yeah.
It was, you have your head figures. You have, Kuki and Torason, Toiko. And I think that even one of Liki's brothers still lives there with his father. But other than that, like, I don't... The math just doesn't add up.
No.
They're going to have kids. And, with each coming generation, I'm willing to bet that more people are going to detract.
Yeah.
And I think I was asking Lajit about it, like, what's going to happen? There's not many women. And he made a comment saying that there's a lot of women out in the kampung now, but they'll come back.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's wishful thinking, if that's really going to happen. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it just, upon my first impression, it doesn't seem maybe as likely as maybe they would like to think. I don't know.
Dude. I don't know.
It's obviously not impossible, but, like, they're going to the kampung. If they're not marrying someone in the jungle, what's, like, okay, I'm going to marry you, like, someone from the kota or the kampung or, mainland Sumatra, like, we're going to go back to the jungle together. I don't know.
I don't see
it.
It's like, I have so much respect for those people that live that lifestyle in the jungle, and especially if you've already gone out, like, how do you come back? Like, it's insane to think about.
Yeah, the way Laja does it. Yeah, and the way that he talked about, like, he came back with us the last day on the boat, and we were there, and he was like, I don't really like, I could come out here, maybe for a day, get some stuff, like, see people, and then I'm back. He's like, I'm going to go back that night, which I think he ended up staying a day, but it wasn't long before he's back.
He went back.
And he said that Kuki, I don't think, this is what he said. He said Kuki, I don't think, I wonder when the last time is now for Kuki, but he said basically, like, Kuki's never spent a night in the kampung, maybe, like, one, but, like, he just goes, gets something, and he's back always. He said Kuki really doesn't like it. It's not for him. He's so far removed from it.
Yeah, I think the dynamic's so interesting between the people that live in the jungle and the people that live in the kampung, and like even though it is like quite a journey to get there, right? We took a boat for what, an hour, and then we trekked for 30 minutes. But sometimes you could go like deeper. You could take like 2-hour boat and like trek for longer. It's still, it's a journey, but it's not impossible.
Oh, it's not absurd.
If you're like, dude, like this is too much. Like I'm gonna go to the normal village.
Yeah. It's so
one
close.
day, dude.
It's so close.
It's like, that's it, dude. Like
this boat's running every day.
Yeah.
They all know each other. They could get on a boat if they wanted.
Yeah. Like the reality is like, you're deep in the jungle, man, and like there is a separation, but there's a way to like to break out. Like,
I think there's like a certain kind of, there's a way that the people still in the jungle look at the way the people in the kampung,
for sure,
especially
dude.
People that we're born into that lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's one thing. It's like your family's from the kampung, your kampung people.
Yeah.
It's another thing of like, you were born here, and now you're in the kampung.
Yeah.
Which I don't think you can really fault these people, but I think there's definitely a sense of pride for them.
For sure.
Like you've, I don't know if it's too far to say, like you've abandoned your culture, you've abandoned your people, you know, but potentially like that's in some ways some of the vibe that I did get.
Yeah. No, I feel like, like you're, it's pride. That's what it's not like hate, or I don't think it's like a bad look, but it's like, I think there's some tension for sure. You know, this is like, or like, man, I live like with this lifestyle, and like people left, and like, dude, I don't know.
It's heavy.
But I don't know. Lajit said what, like, he said there's tribes on 2 of the islands, but I'm unclear on that.
What do you mean?
He said there's still like, okay, Sibiru is the northern island. We're on Sipora, and then there's the 2 in the south.
Yeah, that's Pa guy.
Yeah.
You know, he said they're gone.
Didn't he? I thought he said there's like tribes on 2 of the last 4 islands. But
no,
I think it's just Sibiru.
Everything that I heard. He said there used to be tribes on all these islands, but now it's gone.
Yeah.
You know, you still see like remnants of it, and they still do it. Like even that building back behind you.
Yeah.
You know, it's built like a massive uma, and they still have like the signage of Mentawai, and they still build it with a traditional style and have all the symbols.
Yeah.
But I think like actually people living that way, I think it's gone. I think only Sibiru has that. I'm pretty positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Yeah, that's just the other thing of like, I mean, I think when we went to the village here in the video before the tribes, like that was so interesting to talk to where like religion came in, and where religion like really came in and took over. Like religion really came in and took over. And here it's crazy, like it's Christianity, which is so different. Like Islam is everywhere else, right?
Yeah.
But here, like Christianity really took over. And like those people that we met here in that village, you know, we were trying, before we went into the tribes, like we were trying to ask them about like Mentawai beliefs, and like he really said like that I only believe in my one Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, like very passionately. Like super passionately.
But there's even Islamic people, right? That are like, they believe in, you know, we've been in Java for a long time, like the Javanese mysticism.
Yeah,
and
they blend the beliefs.
Even the other guy was Christian that we spoke with when we were with Andres.
Yeah.
And he was saying, you know, we believe there's spirits in the ocean, or spirits in nature. You know, there's spirits all over.
Yeah.
But that guy, like, he really drove home the point. And I don't know if it was politically motivated because he wants to run for office. He wants a position. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But I mean, it was very surprising for him to like really drive home the point of like, there's no,
like this is the deal, dude. Yeah, because like Lajit said, like, you know, I registered my ID because you have to pick a religion, but I don't subscribe to any of that. Like we have in here, like the Mentawai tradition, the Mentawai belief system, like that's what I believe. Like I don't believe. So it's just, it's like, like here you can really see like, damn, like religion came in here and changed a lot, dude. Like, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
and it's crazy how isolated it is. Like you can take a fast boat to Padang 3 hours away.
Yeah.
And like the Minangkabau people are so strongly Islam.
Yeah.
You know, it's so strong there. Other thing about the Mentawai tribes that I was curious about, or kind of like piqued my curiosity, was, you know, the money.
Yeah,
like,
it's a thing, bro. Yeah.
Being honest, it was the money. You know, like I was confused on that. Because it was a cool experience, and we've done a lot of cool experiences. You know, for all the overhead and what, you know, where is this money going? Because I still think that we paid quite a bit for what we did do. And I think that we got a better price than
most people,
a vast majority of other people.
Yeah.
You know, like we spoke to, I'm not going to say like what anyone paid in our group or anything, but we spoke to people at Ricky's beach house, and she said she paid like 500 British pound or something like that.
Yeah.
It's either 500 British pound or it converted from pound to like $500 a euro.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about. And then, you know, I spoke to people several times, and they really like seemed very honest that no, when people stay at my house per group, I get 100K a night.
Yeah.
You know, so if we're gonna break that down, we did 4 nights, they did 3 nights.
Yeah.
You get 700K for that.
Yeah.
And then like what the overhead of food and things like that.
Yeah.
Really not that much.
No.
Well, you know, really not that much. We weren't like, we had chicken. We had a chicken directly from them. We had pork. We bought a pig there. You know, like they weren't bringing in beef and, you know, these expensive things to cook. It was a lot of vegetables and sometimes some egg, noodles, and rice. Like, it really wasn't that expensive. So, and then, like, I think you obviously have to pay for a boat to get out there.
Yeah.
I talked to them, like, how much does it cost for a porter? Like, the people from the canoe to the houses. They said, oh, I don't know. People usually give them a pack of cigarettes each.
Yeah.
You know? So that's like 20K for each porter.
Yeah.
Like, where does the money go?
Yeah.
You know?
It's the thing with tourism, dude. It's like a double-edged sword, too. And it's just, But I don't know, it's interesting here that the Mentawai people are, for the most part, in charge of it all. It's just there's the Mentawai people that live in the jungle, and there's the Mentawai people that live outside. But the Mentawai people that live outside are the ones that run the whole operation.
Yeah.
They're the ones that speak English. They're the ones that find, you know. But yeah, that's it. That's like the two things that for me it was like actually like I think the reason why people aren't living tribally is I don't think that's actually like an effect of tourism. That's something amongst the people, right? Why people are leaving, why people are moving out of the jungle and moving to the kampung. It's not like a place like Bali where, you know, tourism has led to like a ton of, in my opinion, like has led to a lot of problems in Bali. Here, it's like, you know, there's the biggest thing is like, and we can't fault these people. It's like they don't want to live in the jungle. That's the main thing that's causing the, you know, I don't want to say the culture or the people that live in the traditional sense. That's why it's like dwindling. That's a problem with the people. But also like when you do bring in tourism and when you do bring in money, like that brings problems of its own, dude.
Yeah, of
and
course.
It's like, it's so freaking hard to like, what do you say? And like, what do we say? Like, we're tourists, like, and we paid and like want to see it. But it's like, yeah, you bring in money and like some people want to get paid and some people want to do things a certain way and it definitely brings issues, and it's like, well, who gets paid what, and why are these people getting paid more, and like, I just hope like it doesn't get more like we said like we have like, you know, good words with everybody before we left, and I was just like, please, like, don't let this become something that it shouldn't be. Like, don't, where it's at is okay now, you know what I mean? Like, don't build this into this crazy thing.
But how much is it in their individual hands?
I know,
right? Like, if everyone else is capitalizing on it and doing this, it's like, shit, I'm getting left behind now.
Yeah.
Like, I need to start doing this. I need to start bringing bigger groups because, like, it's viable, and other people, like, it would have to take a collective of the government, all the guides, the tribes, like, everyone would have to band together and say, like, no, like, we're limiting this. This is how this is going to be.
Yeah.
But I think that it's kind of, in a way, like a free-for-all in some senses, you know, and if somebody sees like, oh crap, he's getting more now, he's doing this, and all it takes is one person to start going bigger and trying to blow it out of the water, and then everyone's going to say, shit, I need my piece of the pie, and everyone's going to start trying to jump on board with that. Tourism obviously like brings problems in, you know, there's been the issues with, you know, the visas for Indonesia, and how does that bring in, they want luxury tourism, and we say, well, like, that kind of it kicks us out of it too, you know what I mean? But it's just hard thing, like, you can't vet people, and like, okay, I think, you know, certain people should go in, obviously we pay, like, we feel deserving that we're allowed to go in, but it's like, how do you vet that?
Everyone,
how do you, you know, it's like, it's not an easy process.
And tourism, it can be good. That's why it's like so freaking complicated. Like, tourism could change people's lives, dude, and like, I'm sure it's helped people here for sure.
Yeah, of course.
They're like so grateful for the tourists.
Of course.
You know what I mean? They're everyone on, you know, on both sides. The people in the jungle and the people that in the kampung are like grateful, but at the same time, it's like sometimes it gets out of control, and like if it does get out of control, it's just a friggin' ball rolling down a hill, man.
Yeah.
And there's like, that's it, dude.
Yeah.
And we can't sit here and point fingers and blame people like you shouldn't have let it go like this, or you shouldn't let people come. Like, it's out of our realm. It's just like, it's so complicated.
if what we were told is accurate, 100K per group per night, obviously maybe there's some other things, like you guys are bringing us some supplies and groceries, coffee, cigarettes, blah, blah, blah. Like, if that is true, that is the extent of what the people actually in the jungle are getting paid, per se. I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think that the Mentawai people, like, obviously most of the power is in their hand, right? Like, what are they going to say? Like, hey, we need more. I don't think the outside people in the kampung are guides, and we're going to say, you know what, we're just going to cut you off. We're not going to bring guests here. Like, I think they would have to move off their position, right?
I don't know. That's complicated too. I think a lot of people have to get paid, obviously. I wonder how many people are getting paid from the money that comes in.
I wonder what the government's taking.
I mean, I wonder how many people in the chain are getting, like, about the chain above that we don't know about.
Yeah, I mean, because we've talked to guides, they say, honestly, like, when it's all said and done, money's going here, here, here. We don't get that much either.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the chain is and how many people are getting paid. And then along with that, it's like the same argument about Bali. It's like, or the same thing we talk about Bali is, what do you pay people? Like, what's a fair way to pay people? What do you pay? Like, what do you pay the Indonesians, not just Balinese, who have moved to Bali, or Balinese that moved to, like, places like Canggu or Uluwatu, where they work in a Western cafe where the prices are, more expensive than a normal, and they work, a normal schedule and long hours. What do you pay them? Do you pay them like a normal salary, like a Indo salary of 2 to 3 million a month, or do you pay them, more than that? But is there, like, you can't pay them too much, right? Because that could mess up, like, the flow of things and
kills the market. I mean, we've talked to people. They come in, they get paid. They pay their employees well. And then the turnover, people will come work for a month or two, boom, gone.
So it's like, you don't want to go too far out of the spectrum, because, like, if it is 100K per night for the family, like, that's a lot of money. In their terms, right? Usually they don't have money. Usually, if like the traditional jungle lifestyles, like,
we're trading pigs,
there's no money, dude. Like, that's like, if they want to, get a tattoo, they pay with a pig to the artist. If they, they trade amongst each other, like, that's how they do it. So it's hard to say. Like, maybe you could say, like, that's like, they should be getting paid more than that, especially because we get paid that much. But I don't know. Like, I don't know what the right thing is.
Do you think it causes an issue if the price gets reduced, if it's too affordable? Do you think that also brings in another issue? Then you're going to bring in more tourism?
Too affordable for tourists.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think people that are coming to do this are going to pay whatever. And the thing, like, like, maybe me and you, like, is different, right? Like, we've been in Indo for so long, and we know what the prices of things should be, and, like, we operate in Indo we operate in Indo on this budget, and we know what things should cost.
Yeah.
And when we do something, like, we know, like, what rice and meat and things cost at the market. The outside people don't. And, like, if they, the outside people that are coming here for 3 weeks, it's like, they want to go to the tribes. If this is the price, they're going to pay it. If the tribes is like, if you told them that, like, you need to pay like 10 mil, which I'm guessing that's more expensive than what we've heard people are paid, they would pay it.
Yeah.
And I don't think if it was cheaper, it's always going to be the same. I think it really comes down to, like, how many people they want to bring in. It's on them. But it's also, you also got to think, like, they're maxed. I mean, how many people can they bring in? Like, how many, unless they start building umas and, like, building, like, more stuff. Like, how many people can they actually, like, what's the max capacity? I don't know.
I think a lot.
Yeah.
Like, if they really incentivized it, I don't know. Like, obviously, everyone would have to be on board, you know. But Cookies Uma could hold a lot of people. Toy Coats Uma could hold a lot of people.
Well, that's why I think, like, they're, they don't have complete control. But, like, that's why I said, we both said to them, like, dude, like, I hope you can preserve this. Like, you got your family, your culture, like, all this. Like, we really love and respect this. I hope you can preserve this. Don't let it get out of control. But all it takes is for a couple people to make decisions. And
Do you think your opinion would be different? Because I've seen, like, some pictures and videos at this point of, like, Cookies Uma full of people.
Yeah.
With, like, a dozen plus people. Like, say we went from Lodgettes to Cookies and we get there and there's a dozen people, like, already staying there. Like, I think that would change our opinion on it. Be like, okay, maybe this already is past a certain point.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I do think we did hit a downswing.
Yeah. Like we don't know
there wasn't a lot of people coming in.
Yeah.
But like some of the guys were showing me like, oh, this is my friend, blah blah blah. This is what we did last week.
Yeah.
I saw like, holy crap, there was a lot of people there.
Yeah.
And it's like everyone banded together. They paid, I think they paid like $900K for the guys to sing.
Yeah.
Something like that. And I was like, wow, it's kind of expensive, right?
Yeah.
Like how long do they sing for?
Yeah.
Like,
I think when like major changes start happening, that's when I would be like, this is too much. Things like building a road, like completely changing the way things are. Because like to now, like they're, you could pay extra and get like this thing, or they don't eat rice in the jungle, bro. Like they eat sagu, but they bring in rice and fruit and like stuff they don't. They've changed the experience a little bit.
Yeah, which makes sense.
But if they start changing things, like major changes for the sake of tourists, then maybe that's a problem.
Yeah.
If people are like, if they start building extra housing for people, if they build like a bigger, that's why like you'd say like there should be better logs, but in my opinion, like it's like a hard thing. It's like you charge these tourists all this money and they have these expectations, but at the same time, it's like, don't we want a real experience? Like this is not how it is. So it's hard to say.
But I already think it's kind of like.
It's already kind of like.
It's already doughed up for you.
Yeah.
I mean, we're eating out of these like colorful plastic things.
Yeah, I know.
Like you said, the fruit and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like it's already.
You're right.
Which makes sense. Like they're already gonna do something like that. Like it makes sense for tourism, obviously. Unless that's what you want, you make it very clear. Like you're going in, you're eating sagu, all the time.
Yeah.
You're eating sagu and vegetables, and like that's what you're eating.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't even have sambal.
Yeah.
Something like that. But just for like the logs, it's like, well, that like makes sense, right?
Yeah. But I think once maybe like I would really be like, all right, there's a problem if like they start making major changes.
Yeah.
Stuff like, major things to accommodate tourists where it changes their life, things in Bali that have happened that are, which you like, again, you can't blame the people, is like selling their land, stuff like that, like where it's really like taken out of, the place and taken from the people, and like, but that's their only option, and they can make a lot of money and it could change their life, like, but when that stuff starts happening, like if it does, like God forbid it does not happen, like then for me it's like, all right, damn, like
I just wonder if we would have a different opinion if we hit it like on an upswing because I'm just thinking realistically, you could probably do 20 to 30 people in that little ring of houses that we're at. So if there's 20, 30 people kind of like bouncing around, I feel like we'd have a different take on it.
Yeah.
It'd be like, ooh, maybe this is already past the point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah. I just wonder, like, I think we haven't been everywhere due to, like, we don't really know the extent of it. And I just wonder, like, I feel like there's a lot of places that are untapped in there that they don't bring foreigners in. And I'm happy it's like that. Like when we took on the boat ride back on the river, and like you see some houses and you see some guys like on a paddling down the river in front of their home, and they're not like super traditional, but like they're not dressed like, I don't think they're shamans or whatever it is, but they don't like, they don't care about you. They're like going about their business.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like damn, dude.
No,
and I'm glad it's like that. And I wonder like how many people are living like that, and hopefully it stays like that.
Yeah, and I think there's different part, but I think that's all over Indonesia.
Yeah.
I mean, even we've been places. I will say, for example, like we were in Sungsong, and when we took the boat, like there's people living on stilts in the water.
Yeah.
And they're not doing that for anybody.
Yeah.
They're doing that for themselves.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like they're fishing and they're eating, they're living right there. They're taking a shower in the rainwater when and if it comes.
Yeah. So
I think like there is a lot of that out there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm sure there's a ton in there. It's untapped, and hopefully it stays like that.
No,
and it's like Badui too, like the super traditional place, and in Banten, like there's the outside and the inside, and like it's hard to get in the inside. They don't let foreigners there. If you're Indo, it's like not a guarantee. They don't like cameras, and like they live in the super traditional way.
Cool.
And I get it, bro. Like that's the only way to keep it like the original way, dude. Like, and if that's what you have to do, and I don't get to see it, that's fine, man.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. I just hope for like the sake of the people here, like that they can keep that. You know. Yeah, I hope they can keep it.
But it's funny, right? Because I mean, I think that we feel like where we are obviously foreigners, but
we do feel
like there's again that vetting process.
Yeah.
It's like, could you vet us in? Like, how can we get in there?
Yeah.
It's like, could we prove ourselves to you?
Yeah.
But they're detached, like they don't know about us, and it's just.
Yeah.
This is how it is. We don't let foreigners in,
Yeah.
and that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I even spoke with some people coming out, and like kind of one bougie looking lady that was coming out.
In Badui.
And I was like, where are you coming from? She's
Yeah.
like, Vidalam. I was like, what? And she had porters and people carrying her stuff and whatnot, you know? And I'm not saying that we're more deserving or better than people, but I think that there's a good chance that we would go in and have maybe a better appreciation for their culture than some people that do come in, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously there's good people, but like stereotypically saying like, you know, rich people from Jakarta wanting to go in there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And it would be cool. Yeah, and if ever I ever got like afforded an opportunity like that, I wouldn't need to film. And like even here, like I think I would like to come back here again. I think you would. And like, I don't think I would like to come back here again without filming anything, just to like experience it, you know what I mean? And if we got access to like a deeper place where, you know, not many people go, like I don't feel the need to like film that or like share it with everybody if that's not the way it's supposed to be.
I would like personal, like a camera would be nice.
But not for like we're personal. Not gonna put on our channel.
No, I'm not gonna record it. It's not gonna be a focal point. No. Like the point is, we want to be there. Enjoy the time with you.
Yeah.
If there's a nice moment, it'd be nice to have a I together or something like that. But it's not, you know.
We're not we're not here to like show this off. It's like we're here for ourselves. Like, you know, I don't know. And obviously, like we're always here for ourselves, even when we make content. But there is like we are trying to like show people. Mm-hmm. We are trying to show people.
I mean, I think people understand, right? Like if you have a camera, there's a certain level. Like I think we do a good job about connecting with people.
Yeah.
Like if you're holding a camera, it's always gonna be a barrier.
Yeah.
Versus, I mean, that's why I always say like most of the stuff that happens off camera is arguably better
dude.
Than anything that happens on camera.
Yeah.
Because it is that barrier.
No, like I thought about like moments when there's so many good moments in there where there's no cameras up.
Yeah.
Like if people
and you like you could if you really wanted to, but it would kill
away.
it.
Yeah, dude. Like if you could have just put if you mounted a camera in the corner in the front of the UMA, like while we're just hanging out with them.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome, dude. Like if we just had nice moments, like you were playing chess and we're drinking a coffee or smoking a cigarette and having a conversation and just like doing something simple. Like I think people would have liked to see that, but it's just it's not on camera, and I don't know. Exactly. There's so many good, and just like our interaction with them outside of us holding a camera. I don't think people think about that. They don't think like, they just see through the lens, right? And they just think, they don't realize like there's a freaking camera up with a microphone, dude. Yeah. And like anytime there's a camera up with a microphone, like it's sometimes things are a bit different, and it can make people 100%. Like feel a different way.
Make people act a different way.
Yeah, you don't think like when you're watching through a screen, like you don't think like actually, bro, like in that environment there is a camera with a microphone.
Yeah.
And it draws attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people don't think about that. So in those moments, like sure, like we could have like mounted something and like, but it's hard, and in a way like I'm happy we have that time and it's not on camera. And,
no, 100%.
And maybe if we had our own camera crew, maybe one day, I think that would be cool one day if we do have a camera crew, because then I think they'd capture stuff that we can't. But I think there's always going to be like stuff that is awesome that just
of course
is not.
And there were so many moments I was just like, damn, like this would be like something really nice to have recorded. Like this is something nice to show people. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to be like, hey Rob, like get this.
Get the camera, dude.
Shoot this right now, you know?
Because then it's like, this is not
totally distracts from it.
Yeah.
And like there was times like Antonio did a really good job about it. Like he was recording me. I forget where we were at, but he was recording me one time.
Yeah.
And I kind of was just like, oh, like I don't know, like I wasn't trying to be recorded. He's like, yeah, and that's why I recorded you.
Yeah, that's the time.
It's because like those are the moments that are really going to shine through that people need to see. You know, like you're not doing anything for the camera. You're not putting on an act. You're not trying to, you're not with these people interacting or helping these people because it's documented. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you actually want to spend time and connect with these people.
I mean, we're being like very critical for sure. I think it's okay to be critical.
But that was our idea going in.
Our idea going in was like, all right, like what's going on here, dude?
Because as the days led up to it, we started to realize there's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
And you got on the boat. You were with the tour
group.
Yeah,
there's 20 French 19 or 20-year-olds. Yeah, I didn't even say it, like 20 French 19, 20-year-olds like on our freaking ferry, dude.
Coming over here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so you had that experience coming over here. Yeah. I was in Seabrook for a little bit. You kind of talked to people, and you got here, and you're like, so what's the deal? Like, this thing's blown out, right?
Yeah.
It's just completely gone.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so the days leading up to it, we started to really kind of realize more so what it was really going to be like.
Yeah.
And so we said, hey, we're going to go into this with optimism.
Yeah.
We're not going to go in and try to debunk things and tear it apart and this is what's wrong and ding, ding, ding. But let's just go in with optimism and tell the truth.
Yeah.
And see what it really is, you know?
Yeah.
And like, don't sugarcoat things. It doesn't mean we have to gun at anyone or go for anyone.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think we do a good job about telling the truth while also being respectful. Like, we're not overstepping people's boundaries. Similar to, maybe it's off topic, but similar to how we approach Pacu Jawi.
Yeah.
We don't know what this is going to be like. Are they going to mistreat people? How's this going to be? But we're going to go in and try to get an understanding. And we're just going to we're not going to go full on documentary, but we're going to report what's going on, how's this happening, the people there in us.
Yeah. I think we did the best we could.
Yeah.
I think we made like genuine connections with the people.
100%.
I think they really respect us. Like, we have an obviously immense amount of respect for them. I think the fact that we speak Indonesian, at a decent level, is like insane. Like, it just
I don't think they get that many times.
No.
Foreigners that can
speak Indonesian like that.
I
think the way we were able to connect with them is, we're lucky, man. Like, because not a lot of foreigners.
Yeah.
I don't even think like, and even just like, we're just like genuinely interested and we can speak Indonesian. And they were happy about that, and it just worked out so well. Like, they enjoyed our company. Like, we really enjoyed their company. We were like really interested and curious.
Mm-hmm.
I think like you and I can come back here at any time, and it's crazy like how nice and kind they were, and like, come back anytime, dude, and just come on a boat, and like, it'd be cool if like Lajet makes shaman, like when he finishes and becomes a shaman, like, it'd be freaking sick that we can come.
That'd be so cool.
We can come here and see that and like celebrate him, and if there's other moments, like, you know, we can come back and.
Exactly. I mean, they told us, like, come here. I said, if we come, like, we're going to bring you guys stuff, whatever you guys need. Obviously, we're going to bring that.
Yeah.
It's money that we would otherwise spend. Like, we'll spend some money and get you guys,
what do you need, dude?
Get you guys good.
Yeah.
But I think, like, a big thing about us and why we are able to make those connections is, like, it doesn't matter if we're talking to some big wig in Jakarta, you know, somebody that owns a hotel, or someone that lives in the jungle.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't think we're above anyone.
No.
Like, we want to make a connection and speak with every single person. You know what I mean? And like, we are able to speak a little bit of Indonesian, so it helps. But I think they have, you know, even Indonesians that come there, that obviously speak the language and they can talk with.
Yeah.
Like, they probably have this kind of built up expectation, like, oh, this is the city folk. You know, this is this person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, going around there and like doing stuff and like being in the jungle. It's like, yeah, we've spent a good bit of time in the jungle, you know? Like, growing up, we've been out in nature and done things. Like, we're not.
We're not just like we're not just complete city slickers. Although I am a little bit, but
we're not sombong,
No, everyone's sombong in Indonesia, bro. But I'm happy. I do think it's a special place, and it's very interesting. And I wasn't blown away like you said, like, not because we've been in Indo for so long, but. It's not like going to see an uncontacted tribe in the Amazon. Because I've been in a YouTube hole of those videos, bro. But like, I think it's special and unique, and it's for me, I think it's like it's kind of like going in a time machine and seeing a bit of what Indo was like maybe before. And
I recommend it to people.
I 100% recommend it to people. And we haven't been everywhere in Indo, obviously. Like, we've been to a lot of places, but we still have to go see the Dayak tribes and the Kalimantan. We got to see Toraja. We got to get further back east to Papua and see like that tribal stuff. But so far it's like it's super unique, and I'm happy, and I hope people appreciate our honesty about it, and I hope people don't.
I think so.
I hope people don't get rubbed the wrong way. And like you said, we're not trying to like debunk anything. It's just we're trying to tell the truth, bro. Like we want people to know. We want we want the Indos to know. We want any foreigners that are coming in to know. And we want people to visit, and people should see it. And it's awesome that they're so open about it and welcoming people in. And hopefully, I hope it doesn't get.
I don't think it will. I think it'll be okay. And I think that, I encourage people to go. I think they should go in with a realistic expectation of it.
Yeah.
And they should really figure out and understand like what they're looking for and find the right guide for them. I think a guide plays a huge part in your experience there.
For sure.
So I think everyone should go.
Yeah.
Get the right guy for them. Get the right time frame for them. How many nights they want.
Yeah.
and experience it for themselves.